I hope you on. I hope it's on.
Okay.
Someone's knocking at the door, Alex. Welcome to Couch on Fire podcast with Rob and Alex. And I don't even know the name of this song. Midnight Drive Home. It's like,
That's one of the fresh
hey,
ones, actually.
that was a good one. So, in case you don't know, if you didn't hear from the last episode, Alex has a. Was it on iTunes? But that was on
Uh,
YouTube. I was listening to that on YouTube. But
yeah, so I
you know,
have an album on iTunes. Transitional Adulthood is the name. It's under Pinstripe the DJ as the artist.
ooh, where'd you get that name?
Pinstripe the DJ?
Yeah,
I just had a weird thing with pinstripe suits there for a while. I didn't never wear them. I just liked the idea of them.
okay, idea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I can hear my daughter. I can hear my daughter crying. She has like a unique cry, like you just know.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Well,
Anyway.
everybody's dialed into their kid specifically.
Oh yeah, definitely. You just know. You just like. Well, sometimes it's confusing. I'll be at work and I hear her crying. I'm like, Braylon, why? Why the
That
fuck
one's
are you
not
here?
mine.
Yeah, that
Is
one's
it?
not mine.
I don't think that one's mine. I'm confused.
Yeah,
Do not like.
yeah, definitely. Um. So Alex,
Uh oh.
do you? So, in the last couple weeks, there's something I've been doing secretly,
Oh God.
and I wanted to bring it up on the podcast. I just figured, you know what? Maybe I'm not the only fucked up person in this world that's starting to go down this train. I don't know if
Rob.
it's because I'm older.
Rob. Rob. That's illegal. Don't admit to crimes on the air.
Oh no! I didn't kill anybody this year. So real quick. um, so on, I so couple a couple I think like a week or two ago, um Netflix released a documentary about Ted Bundy. I was like, oh,
Oh God.
that's interesting. I kind of wanted to talk about it for a second because I watched it. I don't know if you watched it. Have you watched it?
No. No. I
No.
the serial killer thing is weird for me. Do not like.
So well, then I'll just keep this short. But I will say
No,
this.
rock and
So
roll. Let it ride, Rob. Let it
well,
ride.
I don't know. I mean, I know. Okay, so we're gonna play the truth game. I know you've had some fucked up thoughts in your life. Everybody has some
Yes.
fucked up thoughts,
Yeah,
and
that's human.
and I've had some fucked up thoughts and things like that. And I know people that have it every day when they're driving. I see it on Facebook. I'm watching you. Um, but so I watched this. I watched this documentary, and there's a lot of criticism that comes behind it. Like they're making him out to be more of a like a kind of like a
Super
pop,
charismatic.
yeah, like a pop culture kind of guy more than the fact that he killed all these women. Um, but so I watched it and I was like, okay, so it was kind of intriguing. But then that night, right? A lot of people don't know this. I laid in bed. So at nighttime, back in the day, you see the pictures of the husband and wife reading magazines, and they turn off the light, but then the husband's still reading, then he turns off the light and go to bed. Now we sit in bed next to each other, but we're both on our phones. So
I'm
I'm on
playing Switch.
YouTube.
She's on her phone. Same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. So I'm watching YouTube, and I started watching. I started going down the rabbit hole of YouTube, and I started watching like stories of all these like what is it called, like serial killers, like all
Yeah.
of them, like with Jeffrey Dahmer, I mean H. Holmes, I mean Jack the Ripper, all these things. I started watching them, and it's actually like it kind of scared me because then I was like, oh my god, is this like it's not really turning me on. So there's a better way to say this without sounding
You're
like a freak.
peaked.
Yes, and I was like, man, this is interesting. I think the thing that makes it the most interesting is that these people, a lot of them were, yeah, they might have got touched when they were young, but other than that, like they seem normal. And then for some reason, there's this one thing that happened to them, and it went left instead of right. Isn't that crazy? Like I don't know, that intrigues me
Mm,
to learn more about it.
I think here the weird part is that stimulus, and it's different for every serial killer. Uh, but that stimulus is never an uncommon stimulus.
Yeah,
So, like, it's oh, so and so looked at me wrong, so I just fucking beat off on their fucking face. Ah! Like that kind of like
Whoa. You just
that's a
said,
left turn. Uh,
yeah.
except they're killing people and eating their faces. Um, so like that kind of it, it's a different kind of person inherently to take that stimulus, whatever it is, that otherwise pretty nominal stimulus that all of us just kind of shrug off and
Yeah.
react to it so so to speak.
Remember, hold on, time out. I can't see what Alex is doing, so when I hear those noises, and I just talked about how I just thought about these fucked up shit. But you just said something about beating off, so it's just that's so go on. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
um, so weird noises aside, like you're a fundamentally different kind of person for actually
Yeah,
being capable of ignoring your conscience enough to perform that anyway.
yeah,
Like that alone is a fundamental difference between like us and them. But
yeah,
that trigger stimulus where it's like, no, now's the time, and and if things proceed, uh, that's it's related, but they're different also.
yeah.
Uh, they're just they're not people per se. They're a different kind of people. And personally, I kind of like uh, children should have like victim rights. As it stands now, they have the rights granted to them by their parents, and they are their parents' property. Like that's how the law treats children, which is insane. I think all
So
children should have a level of victim right. Most mammals should have some victim rights or other.
yeah.
Um, fuck farm animals, we're gonna eat you, but you should have a quality of life that isn't like you're locked in a stall, unable to move.
Yeah.
But also,
Well, I mean,
fuck you, we're gonna eat you. You're
like,
delicious.
definitely.
uh, we're coming up on robots where they like should robots have rights? I don't know. Is it a person? Can it express wants and needs? Like, hey, don't kill me. That's the line. That's the line of personhood.
Well,
Those people that cross that line revoke some of their rights inherently, and they should. Uh, or they should not be allowed to express certain rights thereafter. Um, I would go right up into the line of life, the right to
well,
life,
and
because fuck those
until
people.
until the robots decide to kill everyone, and
All it takes is a magnet, dog. A really strong magnet. Everybody's like, just douse him in water. No, EMP. One nuke and the robot army is done. And it's exo-atmospheric nuclear detonation. We're not getting hit by anything fucking weird, but every circuit on the planet is going off.
well, you ever did you ever think? Well, have you ever thought that like? I mean, have you ever personally had a thought? You don't have to tell me what it is. I can't. Well, deep down inside, I always want to know. But what was the most like disturbing? Have you ever had like such a disturbing thought that it freaked you out?
Not a long time.
Not a long time, but you've had them
Yeah,
before, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody has. Uh, there's that call the void phenomena that everybody experiences too. That's very similar. Like, oh, what if I just taste traffic, and like your car veers a little bit in
Oh
that
yeah, yeah,
direction, you
yeah.
correct it in time. Like
Oh yeah.
that thing, it's the same thing. It's the exact same.
Well, there's like sometimes I don't think that I can probably never harm anybody. I don't think I can. I mean, if I'm in a fight, if I can defend myself or defend my friends, I don't
A
think I would.
co-mutual fight is a different scenario
Yeah,
entirely, but yeah, otherwise
yeah.
no harm, right?
yeah, I don't think I would ever be able to kill anybody, but it's just one of those things where it's like I've thought about it before. I've been so angry at people. I've it is scary sometimes though. It really is. You definitely have
Yeah,
those
getting
thoughts,
that elevated and then
and I
having those
think because
thoughts.
yeah, and I think that's why the shows do so well because you kind of you like wow this guy he had a girlfriend, she had a kid, and they all hung out together. Everything seemed fine, and he was secretly just
The
fucking
fucking eating
strangling
people's
people.
faces. Yeah. Uh,
dude, 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 Jeffrey Dahmer, this guy. Do you know what he
he's
did? Can I tell you? Do you know what he
Jeffrey
did?
Dahmer was the one that would rape, murder, and eat the people, right?
Yeah, so he would. Well, he would. I'm going to tell you one thing that I learned about him. So he liked boys. He was gay, and he liked um he liked young boys. So he would take a 15-year-old, chloroform him, take him back to his place, drill a hole in the side of his head, pour hot water in the hole, trying to think in his mind, oh, I can make him a zombie if I pour water in his brain. Instead, the kid wakes up, has a headache. He smashes something over the kid's head, and then he beats off on top of him, then cuts off his head, his arm, saves his body in a saltwater bath because he thinks that that would preserve it so he can later use it to, do his thing with. Yeah. So that was so when I was hearing all this, I wasn't
Hey,
shocked.
everybody! Trigger warning.
No, like it didn't shock me. I think the thing that made me feel more human, that I was actually concerned, was watching interviews of him afterwards. Like you can watch his trial, and he just looks normal, just sitting there, and you're like, man, you were just doing all that to just that one person. I mean, not all. I mean, there was 21 of them that you killed, or like 12, or I don't know what it was, but that's just weird. So that's just messed up. And then going back to the robot thing that you were talking about, um, when that time comes and we go through the segregation again, just with robots and humans, because that's probably what's
Right?
going to happen.
Because that's
Uh,
exactly how that's gonna go.
and it's literally history of repeating itself because that's how it does. And then they're going to be fighting for their rights. But then it goes back to you ever seen I Robot the movie with Will
Yeah.
Smith? I know it was kind of weird, but it did have a good. I mean, like the actual storyline was like, okay, what if a robot killed somebody? Like,
Yeah.
what if? Like, you're
I
supposed to trust
see.
these. Man made these robots. Men, women, or any kind of human. We have flaws. So if we're making something like PCs, Alex, before we did this podcast, he had a flaw in his PC. He had to fix it. Why can't robots have flaws in them and accidentally kill their owner? And
Well,
then,
things
yeah,
like that are gonna happen. Period. Like we're dealing with that with self-driving cars right now. The
oh my god,
pedestrian ethics problem. Uh,
rest in peace, Tesla.
Not yet. Not
Oh
out yet.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
they've actually survived worse, and that's scary. Um, uh, but that said, like, so you ran right smack into my wheelhouse there. That is an Isaac Asimov novel, iRobot, uh,
Yeah.
and it's most famous for bringing about the idea of the three laws of robotics. Uh, don't hurt humans. Uh, don't hurt other robots, and follow all commands that don't break the first two rules.
Yeah.
And it cannot break the preceding rule for the latter two. So like,
Yeah.
you got to try to prevent harm to all humans. Then you got to try to prevent harm to all robots, providing that a human does not come to harm by those actions. And then follow all commands, provided it neither harms a human nor robot. Uh, those are racist. If we're talking about them possibly being sentient, sapient, and aware, like the ability to converse freely with a person and say, hey, I'd like to go on a walk and it be a meaningful exchange,
Yeah.
that therefore is racist. It's literal slavery subjugation, and every roboticist or futurist that I'm aware of screams, yo, we got to establish the three laws. How about we don't? That's how you get a Terminator. Period. Let them be
Well,
people.
yeah.
That's how you don't get Terminator. It's that easy. Let them be people. They're if they can express, it doesn't matter whether it's synthesized or not. It doesn't matter. We don't know whether
Yeah.
our environment is synthesized or not. We can't tell. There's no meaningful way to determine whether or not we're a brain in a jar somewhere. We we could be. We could be getting electrically stimulated and we're just brains in a jar and everything around us is fucking pure imagination. Okay?
Well, if
Therefore, the level of synthesis behind a robot is meaningless. If it can express the idea of do not harm me, you should not harm it. Period. It's that easy.
well, when it won't happen in our lifetime.
I don't know about
When
that.
when this
I don't know about that.
segregation, I mean, yeah,
I think we're
robots
gonna
will
start to
be.
see it. I think we're gonna start to see it happen.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little doubtful, but I can say my glass is half empty on this one. Um, but I don't. It's just if we did see it, I'm okay with the change. It's literally. But I agree with you 100%. I feel like everything that we said that we would change in ourselves as in society because of the racism that happened in the early 1900s or 18 and 1900s, we will do it all over again.
Oh yeah. The
It's
same
gonna
thing's gonna happen for chimps and monkeys when they go the rest of the way online, so to speak. Um, so like
Planet of
chimps
the
are
Apes.
starting, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
everybody's first thing. Every time is the inevitable takeover of the other species. No, no, just let them be people for fuck's sake. We can live
I,
among them. They can live among us if they
no,
are capable of speech, and chimps and gorillas are, they can meaningly say, I don't want to fucking die, dude.
no. I believe this is how the world's gonna end. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Little thought, little tidbit. I believe that future human beings are gonna come to this earth and land and just say, okay, well, you
Time
fucked
for a
up.
time paradox.
Yep, you fuck up in a couple years. Robots start killing humans, monkeys roaming the planet, whatever. So we're gonna fix this shit now. That's how I think. Well, I don't think it's gonna end that way, but I just feel like that's just what's gonna happen. I 100% believe in time travel. You know, I just I don't know. And I think people are going to go back in time and try to kill off all these serial killers. That was a good transition. You like that? Well, serial
Yeah,
killers, you know?
I think the existence of serial killers is evidence itself that time travel doesn't exist.
I guess you're right
People would have
because
killed baby
it would
Hitler.
it would have happened already.
Yeah, and we would have never known Hitler.
Damn.
Of all beings, like Hitler, Stalin, and Mao all exist.
But do you think that we wouldn't be where we were if we didn't have the Hitlers in the world?
No, no, we'd
Like,
very likely be far worse.
you think it would be far worse? Because I feel like, and I hate to say this, but like obviously things happen for a reason. I'm a huge believer of this, 100%. And I hate the fact that the Jewish people were slaves for multiple years to the Egyptians and all that crazy stuff. I was gonna say good stuff. That's not good. And then the whole Hitler thing, and then like even like John F. Kennedy getting shot. All this stuff happens for a reason. Say if it didn't happen, do you think that like I don't know. I mean, like, where would we be as a world? Not as just, like, where would we be if we didn't have these failures to learn from? If we didn't have these
Exactly.
serial killers killing people, how would we improve our FBI? Like, literally, another Netflix show called My Hunters. It's literally about how FBI formed a group of men to hunt people like this, and they got better because you know,
Of
fucking
profiling the
Ted
previous cases.
yeah, because Ted Bundy can kill people in one state, go to the next state, no one even knows who the hell he is because you didn't have a driver's license with a picture on it back then. And then it's like it's one of those things where the miscommunications between states in the 70s and 80s, because the 80s is still didn't
That was
like
that was
that
by
wasn't that far
design.
ago. So
Bruv, that that whole system is by design. That's the idea of federalism itself.
yeah,
That was by design, uh,
well,
which is frightening.
yeah,
Agreed. Uh,
but
but the idea was that you could get a fresh start
yeah, and yeah, I mean, I don't,
and
yeah,
unfuck yourself, as it were. Um, Unfortunately,
but
that carries with it the potential for more victims because you don't have to have a fresh start and like, oh, I'm
yeah,
gonna do better. You could just keep on killing. Like, there's no
dude,
direct
how
incentive to not. If you've already gotten away
time
with it,
time out. How long have we been recording right now?
this specific
Recording.
recording session is at
Yeah,
20
this one.
minutes.
Do you believe this? My daughter has been screaming since we started this episode.
I've heard the occasional shout out
You
leak
know,
through.
if you
Is
want to
she
talk
okay?
about a serial, no, no, I'm fine. If you want to talk about a serial killer, my wife is going to become one because when a child's tired and wants to go to bed, that's what's going on. I'm gonna let her in here. Just stay alive. Stay
No,
alive.
cool.
Braylon, come here. Come here. You're okay. Okay. So hey everyone, that's my daughter right back there. She just wanted to come in here and say hi. Yeah.
Is she doing better? It sounds like
Yeah, she's
she's
doing much
petering
better.
off.
Yeah. She we went to speech today, which was good. So
Cool.
she's doing great. But I'm telling you, the way she acts, I can see if my wife will become a serial killer one day.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, she doesn't.
Hi, Braylon.
She's irritable. She's crazy.
I think that's a steep term.
It's like no, I love her. Yeah, we might have to call this episode a little early.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Two dads, right?
Yep, that's dad life.
Yep.
All
Good
right,
luck
guys.
tonight, man.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right. Later on.
See ya.